talked about identifying a function given a set of points. So I gave you a set of points and I said, do these points represent a function? Your purpose or your mission was to create a mapping diagram. So you put all of your domains or your x's down, you put all your y's or ranges down, and then you mapped them. If x went to two things, then it's not a function. If x went to one thing, it is a function. Okay, so based on that, let's say I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 7. Let's say I had that. And I said, identify if this is a function. You would write all your domains down, which is your x's. You'd write 1, 3, 5, and then a 1 again, so you don't rewrite that. Then you would write your range or your y's down, 2, 4, 6, 7. We would map it. 1 goes to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6. 1 also goes to 7. Notice that that is not a function. It's not a function because 1 went to two things. So that's not a function. That's x, right? Domain is x. Range is y. So if x is two things, or if x is two things, it's not a function. Now notice a graph. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Notice this graph if I had x, when x is 1, y is 2. Yep, that's a function. However, if x is 1 and y is negative 2, x is two things. X can't be two things. Notice that when it's two things, it's not a function. We can identify, given a graph, if it's a function or not by the vertical line test. If a straight line goes through a graph more than once, it's not a function. That contradicts that each x should have one y. And that's where all of this is coming from. Each x should have one y. If it has two y's, then there's no way it's a function. So I have my ruler is movable, yours is not. But when I look through at this graph, I want to make sure x is always only goes to one y. One y, one y, one y. Yep, because it's linear, right? I mean, it's going to one y constantly. This is a function because each x went to one y. Notice here, it's going down, right? Now all of a sudden it looks like it's going to keep going down this way. How many, it looks like there's a lot of y's, doesn't it? 1x is a lot of y's. I'm going through more than one point on my vertical line. Whenever you go through more than one point, it is not a function. It's really easy to do. What most 8th graders tend to do is use their pencil and just go through like, okay, do I go through more than one y as I follow the line? Okay, next one. Whoopsies. Whoopsies. Okay. How many y's do I have there? Huh? I have two y's, right? I have a y here and I have a y here. That means one of my x's went to two y's. That's not a function. Not a function. And then sometimes you're given, this is called a scatter plot, which means it's not a line, it's just a bunch of plots all around. Plotted points. So what I do with that is I just go through each plot or point and make sure there's only one on each x. That's one there, one. How many there? Two. That's not a function. So that's our learning objective today. All you need to know today is if I give you a graph, what you need to be able to do is identify if it's a function or not. If a vertical line goes through it more than one time, then it's not a function. That's it. But let's just do a couple of them as practice. I'm going to make a graph.
Make one.
And you're going to tell me if it's a function or not. I'm not even going to scale it. It doesn't even matter. because you're just following a vertical line, so you don't really need it scaled. Let me lock this in place.
Lock it.
Okay,
Function.
No.
function or no function?
No function.
Yes, 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 yes.
No.
Oopsies. All of a sudden, that's not a function right there, right? Darn it. Not a function. No problem. Okay, what about this one? Function or not a function? Vertical line.
A function.
Once, 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 once. Once, once, once. This is a function. It never crosses more than one time. It's nonlinear. That's what you're thinking. Nonlinear is not the same as function or not a function. It's still a function because my line only goes through one time all the time. See? Only once. It never goes twice. What about this one? See, I graphed it a little bit weird. According to the vertical line test, it would be not a function, right? Because it would be a point here and a point there at the same x. That's not a function. That wasn't my goal. Okay, what about this one? Not a function, right? Because, I mean, that's obvious. Look at that. It goes through twice right there. So since it went through twice, it is not a function. Because we only want it to go through once. What about
I'm just gonna guess yeah.
function or no function?
Function.
Function only goes through once. What about function or no function? Only goes through one all the time. Again, I'm looking to see that it only goes to one y all the time. Yep, it totally did only go through one. What about what about this one?
That's supposed to be short.
It sure is non-linear, but I wonder if it's a function. Yep. It's still a function, even though it's non-linear, it's still a function. You see what I'm doing? I'm taking my vertical line and I'm just making sure that my vertical line only goes through the graph one time for each x. Okay, then what about this one?
No way, Jose.
Well, let me check. Yep. Nope.
Nope.
There's three of them.
Went through three of them. What the goodness? Can't go through three. You should only go through one.
Oh dear.
I don't know. Yep.
No.
Yeah, I bet you I meant yep though, but oopsies. According to my
Did
drawing, that's no. Right? Because right here, I went through twice. So do you feel like given a graph, you can use a vertical line to identify if it's a function or not?
Yeah.
If it goes through more than one time, it is not a function. If it goes through only once all the time, then it is a function. And that's it.